I've been in the mental health field for a pretty long time, almost 15 years. And there's a lot of things that I've noticed over time with those who manage to overcome incredible difficulties, crazy life circumstances, and even conflicts with their own mental health and well-being, whether it's due to genetics or things that happened in the past. And there's some things that I've noticed over time with the qualities of those who manage to overcome all these kinds of challenges that you can imagine. And it's qualities that I've noticed within myself too, because I am very similar to my clients in some ways, that I also have had my own experiences and things that I've had to work through. I wanted to come and share some of those thoughts and observations with you. And I hope that you find this helpful and that it gives you some encouragement while you're on your journey of self-love and well-being and recovery. So these are some of the qualities that I have observed that differentiate those who overcome from those who succumb or end up being overtaken by their circumstances and their struggles. And what I want to point out with all of these is that if you feel like this is you, then growth and abundance, right? Change and the realization of good things, all of that is inevitable when you have these qualities. So the first quality that I've observed is that you are determined, not desperate. Okay, so desperate energy, it repels the thing that you are seeking, which is really problematic when you have a goal, something that you want to go after, and you find that you just keep pushing it away, right? So when we're not in that state of determination, we're in that state of desperation, we're repelling the thing that we're wanting. We're in a state of anxious activation. And when we're in that kind of state, our minds and our bodies see this as a signal of distress. So they think that we are encountering something that they have to protect us from, right? This is our subconscious, again, that programming that runs 90% of our actions and our thoughts. So in order to protect us from this thing that it sees as distressing, our brain is going to give us all these really great, wonderful, seemingly really rational reasons why we should back away from the goal that we've set for ourselves in order to create safety again, in order to bring down that anxious activation, because we're in that state of desperate energy, right? Also, desperation is actually a signal that you are giving up on something before you've even started. If you're going after something and you're feeling desperate, part of you already doesn't believe that it could happen for you. Part of you already doesn't believe that anything's going to really change, and you've given up before you've started. Now, determination, on the other hand, right, this quality of an overcomer, determination is about making a clear-minded decision. Determination means that you have reviewed the facts of your situation. You're not ignoring reality. You've reviewed those facts, and you've decided that you want something different. You also have decided that you are willing to commit to doing whatever it takes to achieve your goal. So now, instead of saying things like, I'll never figure this out, or I really need blah, 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 but it's too hard, or it's impossible, or it will take too long, and I need it now, right? Desperate energy. Instead of saying those things, you say things like, I will see this through. I know it will take time to see results, and that's okay. I will stay this course because I know what I want. When you're determined, you have the vision, and it gives you that staying power to actually work the plan long enough to make growth inevitable, to make attaining your goal inevitable. The next quality that I see in those who are overcomers is that you understand that the way you think is what determines your course of action. The way that you think. Again, coming back to that subconscious programming, right? That 90% of what determines our behavior and our thoughts. So you realize that knowing what to do doesn't always mean that you will do it, or that you will do it well, or that you will have the results that you expect from that action. So here's a common example of how this works. You may have heard that people who meditate have higher levels of well-being, satisfaction, life satisfaction, lower blood pressure, right? Better health. They're more satisfied in their relationships, better sleep. I'm a mom of 2 babies, so I'm always emphasizing the sleep part. But you may think that you want all of those things, right? You want all the benefits of meditation. And you believe that meditation is a good for you thing. You just don't think that you're capable of it. So you will, you'll believe that it's good for you, but you also believe that you're not really capable of it. And so you'll just make attempts to do it, right? I think about there is no try, only do. That's Yoda, right? My husband's going to be mad at me for not knowing who said that. There's no try, only do, right? So you'll make attempts to meditate, okay? You will sit down and try really hard to meditate instead of just being in the now and doing it. You'll buy a really expensive meditation pillow off Etsy. Those pillows in the background are actually from Etsy, but I'm using them. But you'll just never use them as intended. You'll start off listening to some things on Insight Timer, or you'll download the Calm app, and life will just happen, and you'll move on, and you'll have a phone cluttered full of apps that you never open, subscriptions that you never take advantage of, and one day you'll just kind of be going through your stuff wondering why this stuff is even here. What even is that, right? So in this case, you didn't actually determine that you were going to make this a part of your life, right? That first quality of an overcomer, you're determined, not desperate. And you didn't believe that you were really capable of it anyway. So nothing changed, and you have nothing to show for it. You have the same level of happiness, peace, clarity as you did before, however low that might be. That's if you didn't think about the fact that the way you think is what determines your course of action. On the other hand, if you decided that you are a person who practices mindfulness regularly, you took on that identity, and that right now you are a beginner who is growing into mastery on a daily basis, so you have that path laid out ahead of you, then you will believe that this is a part of you now. It's just part of who you are, and then you're going to act accordingly because it's just part of who you are. You will become this, a person who meditates and experiences all the benefits that you personally want from meditation, because you think and believe in it, and you think and believe that it is for you. And so all of your actions are as a result of your powerful, growth-oriented beliefs. Overcoming becomes inevitable. The next quality that I notice in overcomers, almost down to a 1 in all my time of serving people and working in the field, is that an overcomer, well, you know when to get help outside of yourself. Now, I haven't met you yet, you watching this, but I'm certain about some things, okay? I'm certain that there's at least one thing, probably many things that you are very good at. It might be something that's just a hobby for you, or maybe you get paid to do it. Maybe you get paid to teach other people how to do it. I'm willing to bet that you are pretty impressive in particular areas of your life, that you are masterful. And there's things that you could teach me that I know nothing about, right? Like if you're a scuba instructor, I know nothing about that. Like you could teach me like a child, like a first grader, and I would be like taking notes, like I have no idea, right? Now here's another fact that I know about you without having met you yet. I think you'll agree on this. No one is a one-stop shop. No one is a master of everything, right? That's why we have that expression, jack of all trades, master of none. Attempting to be a master of all the things is just foolish. It's a waste of time. And it's just not even necessary. You might be great at teaching a room full of 5-year-olds how to read and gain a love for reading, but you may not know how to say no to your overbearing parents or the really bossy principal who thinks that they have all the answers at work, right? You may be wonderful at cooking delicious, from scratch, plant-based meals, gourmet meals. Any vegans watching this? But that doesn't mean that you know how to feel comfortable in your own skin or in front of a camera. So you don't have to pretend to be an expert in everything. The reality is that trying to pretend that you are will just keep you small, and it will keep you stuck because it's out of sync with reality. However, if you own that you are not an expert in all the things, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you when you realize that. That means then you can get help from people who are experts, and you can receive so much benefit from being able to glean from their understanding and their expertise in the areas where you currently struggle. You can happily move forward with easily enforcing boundaries with family members and navigating visibility on camera with confidence with very little trouble at all, because you aren't putting roadblocks in front of you with getting help that makes all of that so much easier. When you know that something is hard for you and easy for someone else, and that qualified, skilled, and like-minded people exist who can help you with what you need, then you can access that help early, often, easily. It can save you time, grief, lost opportunities, instead of costing you more time, grief, opportunities. You know when to acknowledge that you need help. You're willing to access it. You take action. And so for you, overcoming and receiving in good things becomes inevitable. These are just some thoughts for me as a seasoned professional working in the field of emotional health. I hope that it encourages you to think about where you fall, right, and these different qualities, and that perhaps you already have all that you need to get the results that you want out of your life. Professional life, personal life, it doesn't matter. Growth is not out of reach for you. It all comes down to just a few simple things and the way that you think, right? It comes down to determination. It comes down to belief. And it comes down to reaching out, receiving help. So, if you're having trouble making self-love a conscious and regular habit in your life, in the midst of just the chaos, busyness, and demands that you have going on, especially if you are a professional woman who also has a family, be sure to take the quiz down below. There's a self-love assessment, self-love style assessment that helps you to get a better read on how you would be most filled up in your personal time so that you're not wasting time on self-care that doesn't work. That's the reason I made the quiz, is to help you get a little bit more clarity on why you may be feeling so run down. You'll get a breakdown, a personalized video breakdown of your unique style. And you'll also get a guide that includes all 5 self-love styles to help you see what your secondary style is, and also how those that you're in a relationship with operate, to give you better understanding with them as well. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on this channel, and you can also head to my site to read some of the blog posts or look at some of the course offerings that may be a benefit to you. And there's some nice free resources on the site as well. I hope to see you back here soon. Thank you for spending some time with me. Bye.